This week's ride on Indian Motorcycle Radio, I'm talking about the Scout. Models, mods, and what we love about Indian's sprightly little Scout lineup.
BlanchardNetwork.com presents Indian Motorcycle Radio.
Hey there, Teresa Uncaged here. Let's talk about Scouts. I am talking about Indian's smallest powerhouse, the Indian Scout. This line has five models for the 2021 year. Now, you've got the Scout 60, the Scout Bobber, the Scout Bobber 60, and the Scout Bobber 20. And according to Indian Motorcycle, quote, the Scout line brings an iconic design into the future with streamlined silhouettes and modern performance, end quote. And I couldn't agree with that statement more. So let's start with what they all have in common. They all have a liquid-cooled engine and a 3.3-gallon gas tank. Now they come with ABS brakes as an option, and I have ABS. I don't think I'll ever have another motorcycle without them. And then they have an analog gauge with a digital toggle. So the digital toggle has your tachometer, your odometer, your trip meter, your engine temp, and a low fuel light. And that's about all that they have in common. Now, they all do have similarities between them. So, for example, most of them have a 25.6-inch seat height, with the exception of the Bobber 20 that has a 27-inch seat height for you taller folks. And then, this is where it starts to get a little crazy. So, I'm going to try to talk slow and follow along if you can. I know there's so many options. It gets a little confusing. So the Scout, the Bobber, and the Bobber 20 come with USB ports, which is super helpful on long trips. I had a 3-hour trip, and I was GPSing, so I wasn't quite sure where I was going, and it saved my life. I definitely plugged my phone in along the way. Now, those three motorcycles also share 6 gears and 100 horsepower. The Scout 60 and the Bobber 60 have 5 gears and around 78 horsepower. Now, the key to spotting the difference is the engine. So the 100 horsepower engine is black and silver, and the smaller 78 horsepower engine is all black. Fun fact, I didn't know that when I first started shopping for them. Next, we have the seat. So they all come with solo seats with a 2-up option, except the Scout, which comes standard with the 2-up option. And I think that both options are actually really, really aesthetically pleasing. So one feature that I really, really love on the Bobbers is the chopped or bobbed fender. And it has lowered suspension for a slammed stance. These things look mean. Now the Scout and the Scout 60 have the classic fleet-sided fenders for a more vintage look, which are also super gorgeous. Now, they each range in weight, and I'll put the weights in the show notes, but the weight difference is very mild. We're talking like 544 pounds to 571 pounds. So the weight difference is really barely noticeable, but if it matters to you, that is something you definitely want to look at when you're shopping around. Now, finishes are another big player. The Scout is all chrome, while the Bobber and Bobber 60 are blacked out, which is my personal favorite option. Now, the Scout 60 has chrome exhaust and blacked out other finishes, while the Bobber 20 is a black and chrome combo. The Bobber 20 also comes standard with wire wheels and mini apes. So that's a very different look for the Scout style. Now, price-wise, the Scout Bobber 60 comes in at the lowest price point, starting at $8.9, followed by the Scout 60 at $9.5. Now, right in the middle, you have the Scout Bobber, which to me felt like I was getting the most bang for my buck, and that was right at $10.9. And then finally, you have the Scout and the Scout Bobber 20 coming in at $11.9. So they're all kind of really reasonable in price range. Now, I know that was a lot of information for you, and you can find most of it here in the show notes. But if you want more detailed specs, like lean angles and things like that, you can find that all on the Indian Motorcycle website, indianmotorcycle.com. And now I want to talk to some Scout owners. I want to find out what Scout owners have to say about these amazing little machines. All right, so some of you know I ride the 2020 Indian Scout Bobber in white smoke. Mine did come with the ABS brakes, and you guys know the stats from before. I have 100 horsepower, 1200cc engine. The tank is 3.3 gallons, so the total wet weight is about 555 pounds. It is super light and super low with that 25-inch seat height. And that's exactly why I fell in love with this motorcycle. It fits me. It fits me perfectly. And because of that, I haven't really changed much. I haven't done any major modifications since I've had her for the last year. I named her Ziya, and I did change out the headlight to an LED color change headlight. And I added a high flow air intake to go with the Radiant Cycles Shorty slip-on exhaust. And then I flipped the bar end mirrors to make the silhouette more streamlined. And then, of course, I added my rock form case, so if I need a place to charge my phone with that little USB port, it's securely mounted to the motorcycle. So a couple things I've been considering doing. I've been considering maybe getting a passenger seat, and if I did that, I would definitely want to get a big sissy bar. But then I'm really torn because you start messing with the silhouette and that streamlined look, and that's not really what I want, so I'm kind of putting that one on the back burner. The one thing I might get, I've seen a small saddlebag for the Scout, and it's small enough that it doesn't look very bulky. It's not one of the bigger saddlebags. So I'm considering getting that. I'm still messing with that idea. I just don't want it to look bulky. One mod that I know I'm definitely doing is the license plate. I plan on turning that so it's up and down. Again, so when you look at the bike from multiple angles, it looks very sleek, very streamlined. It has a clean silhouette. That's what I'm going for with my motorcycle. Now, I did talk to a couple other Scout owners, and I got their opinions. So the first gal I talked to was Anne, and she has a 2018 Scout 60. And the Scout 60 was very popular. She, like myself, loves everything about the motorcycle. However, she does not like the small gas tank, which I can understand that. So some of the mods that she chose were the passenger seat and saddlebags. She added a windshield, and then she put Vance & Hines exhaust on there. And I'm going to add a picture to our social media. So if you guys want to see what these motorcycles that I'm talking about look like, check out Teresa Uncaged on Instagram or on Facebook or Indian Motorcycle Radio Group. I'm going to post it to all of those locations. So then next up, I talked to Jen. And she also has a Scout 60, but hers is 1 year older, so she has the 2017 model. And man, she is rocking the mods. She upgraded to a Mustang seat. She has a Freedom windshield, and then she added engine guards. So after that, she decided that she wanted reduced reach bars and a luggage rack for more comfort on longer rides. Plus, she changed out her grips and got mini boards. Now, she traded up the stock exhaust for RC component slip-ons and then had some fun customizing the tank. She got a custom paint job, and oh my goodness, it is gorgeous. After that, I believe she told me she added the smoke turn signal covers and an LED halo headlight to finalize her customization. And my favorite quote from Jen is, "I love my bike beyond all things. I'm 5'2". My bike is perfect, and I plan to never get rid of it." And I think that's so cool. So she's 5'2", and I'm 5'4", and we fit on the same bike. And it's not an issue. We're not tiptoeing. We're not struggling. We feel very comfortable. So then next I went and had a chat with my friend Greg. And he had, yes, I say had, because recently he traded up for the new Chief. Super jealous. Amazing bike. But he had a 2017 Scout 60. And his upgrades included an LED headlight, Trask high flow air cleaner, an attractor seat, and a windscreen. And I believe that he had the easy to put on windscreen, so he could take it off really fast if he didn't want it on, which I like that option better. I think it's called quick release. That's it, quick release windscreen. Now, although he didn't like not having a fuel gauge, and the tractor seat was a little more uncomfortable than he thought it would be, he did love the power. And Greg said it was really quick and fun to flick around. Plus, the insurance on the motorcycle was cheap. And I don't know about you, but if you're looking at price points, the insurance is something that you want to look at too. I know I'm not paying a whole lot for mine, but I have a friend who maybe has a sport bike of some sort, and I know they're paying a little bit more than I am. So that's always something you want to look out for too. Finally, I talked to Kim, and Kim has a 2018 Scout, and oh my gosh. Guys, you have to check out social media and look at this motorcycle. It's the willow green over ivory cream with the gold pinstripes. I love the vintage feel of it. And she added a fairing and these light brown leather bags to match the seat. And it's amazing looking. Now, Kim's favorite thing about the bike is that it fits her, and she's 5'9". So remember, we talked about Jen, who's 5'2", I'm 5'4", and Kim's 5'9". And she said it fits her frame perfectly. She just didn't like the grips. And she did tell me that she plans on upgrading those so that her motorcycle is perfect. And I can't agree more. Upgrade, change out, modify, fix it up to what you want. If the bike feels good, you can change all those other little things. You can even change the paint. I mean, we got this custom paint job over here. It is amazing. So I want to know what Scout is right for you. So we chatted about the Scouts and we chatted about some people's mods. Now I want to tell you a little bit about what I did today. So this morning I got up and I went to an Indian Motorcycle Riders Group chapter meeting. The chapter that I'm with, we have a meeting usually the first Saturday of every month, but because the first Saturday was the 4th of July, we bumped it back to this Saturday. We go and we discuss a lot of different things. We usually always discuss the funds. We discuss old business, new business. Most of our new business is usually rides we're going to be planning for the next few months. And at each meeting, we talk a little bit more about the details on the most recent ride that's coming up. For example, I believe everybody's getting ready to go to Sturgis in August. So that's the big one that they've been talking about. We plan a bunch of little rides in between here and there, but that's the big one that we've been really touching base on. We open it up and introduce new members if we have any. All the old members kind of say hi, and we all tell them, what we ride. And it's a really great camaraderie. It's a great friendship. You can usually find them, you can find them in every single state. There is at least one in every state. Now, I'm in Florida, and Florida has 14. We have a lot. And you can start your own if there isn't one that's super close by you. But most of them are done through the dealerships. And ours, for example, we meet at the dealership, which is really cool because when people buy new Indians, they can find out about us right away. And I love that, like I said, Florida has 14 chapters. We're a close-knit group. Everybody's super friendly. People take like little rides together throughout the week or on the weekends. They meet up and do this or that. We have a Facebook page, and we get on there, and somebody will be like, hey, thinking about riding to this place. Who wants to join? And it's just a lot of fun to have a community of like-minded people. Now, one of my favorite things is that multiple chapters get along really, really well. For example, the motorcycle that I bought was from a little bit further away, and they have their own chapter in Central Florida. And they happen to be hosting a multi-chapter picnic for all of the chapters in Florida to attend. So next Sunday, we're all getting together, and we're riding up and just meeting each other, saying, hey, looking at everybody's bikes, seeing what everybody's done, all the modifications, hanging out with other Indian motorcycle enthusiasts. Now, where I live personally, there's a Harley Davidson dealership, and they have this huge pavilion and a big old restaurant, and they host lots of really cool events, fundraisers, all kinds of events. And it's a really great time to go over there and hang out with other motorcyclists. But I don't see a lot of Indians there, it's totally fine. We see a lot of crazy custom bikes, all kinds of really cool things to look at. But it's really great to know that every once in a while I can get together with other Indian motorcycle riders and chat about the bikes that we have, and just a bunch of like-minded community people that really love the brand the same way that I love the brand. So my question to you guys is, are you part of a riding group? If so, how active are you? I know I didn't recently join. When I joined, about a month in, I did become a board member relatively quickly because, it's my chapter. I want it to work for me. So I chose to do some of the social media and the marketing stuff for the group. We have a president, we have a secretary, we have all of that, and they all do work really hard for the chapter. And I really love the people that I get to work with. So what is your role? Do you have a role? Do you have a chapter? Have you joined? Did you know about this? These are all really amazing questions. So in the show notes, I'm going to leave a link to the description where you can find a chapter in your state. And let me know on social media. Like I said, we are going to post a lot of pictures from the people we talk to, some of the stats on the bikes, all of that's going to be in the show notes. And I will post some extra things on social media in our Indian Motorcycle Riders group, Facebook page, on Teresa Uncaged Facebook page, and on Instagram. So I guess that wraps up our ride for today. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed talking about the Scout and telling you some of the mods that my friends have added to their bikes. I can't wait to hear how many of you join a chapter or don't join a chapter, or what you think about the chapters. And just share your motorcycles with us. I want to see all of your mods and your upgrades. That's it for this episode. I'd like to say thank you to Anne, Jen, Greg, and Kim for sharing their motorcycles with us. I hope you have a great week, and I will catch you on the next ride.
Check out all past episodes and new ones on BlanchardNetwork.com.